Hello class, hello Dr. Gates. This is my research presentation, so let me jump right in here. What is my research question? Uh, how will automation and artificial intelligence affect auditors in the future? So this is pertaining to their jobs, what the job market will look like in the future. Research many sources to find evidence that would lead me to a conclusion, so let me move right along here. Second question. Why was the research question important? Who will care about it? Why is it important? Um, what difference would it make? So, the research question was important because um, it affects real people, real jobs, and their livelihoods. And as you well know, accountants are the planning type. So, this will affect what decisions they make in the future pertaining to career moves, change in careers, um, so how they will make a living. So I think that's pretty important. Who will care about it? Obviously, the accountants and auditors who work for these auditing firms. And let's see the last question. What difference would it make? Well, it would make a pretty big difference. I go over, what the conclusion of my research was in some of these later questions, but um, if hypothetically technology were to replace these jobs, that's $1 billion industry, billions of dollars in revenue are made every year. Uh, so that would make a pretty big difference. Uh, Hundreds of thousands of jobs. So yeah, there's a lot at stake there for sure. So third question, moving right along. What were the alternative solutions to address the research question? These are not my solutions. I think my solution's much better, but here are some options. Make a career change if you think that technology will replace your job. Um, yeah, so there's one. Second, do nothing, which I don't think would be prudent, but that could be a solution, I suppose. Kind of roll with the punches. Moving right along, fourth question. What was your recommendation and why is it better? My recommendation for auditors, first of all, what I found is that the auditing profession will change in the near future. There's going to be some big changes with the new technology available. But I don't think it'll displace some jobs. Some menial tasks will not be necessary for people to do anymore. But I think that there's gonna be a demand for auditors with this technology. So my recommendation was stay ahead of the curve by taking courses on big data and analytics, which is the direction audits are moving these days, um, and anticipate the upcoming changes uh, in the auditing standard. The generally accepted auditing standards will likely change with the times, and I think anticipating that will help auditors stay competitive and continue to add value in their firms. I think that also educators should adapt their curriculums to include more skill set development, dealing with data analytics, dealing with these large sums of data that the technology will be able to provide to auditors, and they'll have to make judgments, and that can be hard to interpret, I'm sure. So I think learning how to deal with all that new information um, and is definitely where the curriculum should go. And the training obviously should change as well. Here's just a quick example. Sampling will become obsolete most likely as artificial intelligence will be able to provide data on all transactions in a population. So that sampling will likely not need to be taught in schools or in training anymore. I think this is the best recommendation because these educators, trainers, and auditors will be able to continue to add value in the fields in which they're experts in. So, fifth question: What are the potential implications for your research question going forward? I think some implications are, my paper encompasses the near future, the next couple decades, but that begs the question, will there be a time further in the future where we won't need any people for auditing? Um, and generally, I would say no. This kind of ties into the next part of that question. What other questions might be generated from your research question? So I think generally, I would say uh, no. I think that human judgment is invaluable and will always be necessary to a certain extent. Other questions: what other industries will this apply to? How can other people ensure job security? I think there's a lot of other industries this will apply to. Real estate appraisal comes to mind. Job security, just being educated on what's happening with technology, staying up to date on those things, and trying to always develop new skills. You got to constantly be adapting your skill set in this rapidly evolving marketplace. Um, and the conclusion of my paper was that I do not believe technology will take the place of all human judgment. I certainly could be wrong, but historically, jobs have been displaced and created by technology. So that's what I got from this research topic. I really enjoyed it. I hope I answered the questions thoroughly, and thank you very much.